What's up, everybody? It is a beautiful day outside. Um, I'm just getting up not too long ago and did some yoga and came outside and oh man, it is beautiful out here. It feels so good. Like, man. But I want to talk about how everything in life is governed by law. Learning this, man, this really changed my life. Because prior to understanding this, um, I would always point blame, point the finger at this person or that person, blame God, get mad at God, get mad at people, get mad at the boss, get mad at the government, get mad at the president, get mad at the police, get mad at the judge, etc., etc., etc. But learning that everything is governed by law, man, that put a totally different spin on everything and gave me a new perspective on life. So let's talk about that because a lot of people um, are in the boat that I was in, you know, and they don't understand why things are happening in their lives, the way they are. And the reason behind it is because of law. Everything that you want in life, there's a law or a set of laws that govern how to obtain it, how to achieve it, how to become it. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna talk about church a little bit because I used to go to church some years ago, and when I was going for a long time. I probably went to church for maybe about 15 years, I'd say. And one thing I would notice, and it's really no different between people in church and people that don't go to church. But one thing I would notice would be how people would always go up for prayer and asking God to give them peace and asking God for a financial blessing and asking God to solve this problem and solve that problem. And that's like the common theme in churches. Every church I ever went to, you know, uh, they basically tell you, whatever issue you may be facing or whatever change you want to experience in your life, they tell you to pray. You know, let God handle it. God can do it. God can do anything but fail. And, they put it all on God. And um, when it's not on God at all, it's actually all on you. Because laws have been established. There are laws that govern, the natural world. And when I mean natural world, I'm referring to things like nature. You know, the sun rises and sets according to laws. You know, the wind blows according to laws. This tree behind me right here grew according to laws. Um, Everything about your body and the way your body functions is according to law. The way your heart beats, the way your kidneys function, the way your livers function, the way your eyes see and your ears hear, the way you speak, the way you think. Like everything is governed by law, right? So if you want to, let's say, oh man, some kind of very interesting bug just fell down on me. I'd never seen a bug like this in my life. But, um, let's say like everything. If you want to go to school to be, or say no, let's say if you want to become I don't know, psychiatrist, a chef, a carpenter, a plumber, right? Whatever career you want to pursue, there are laws that govern how to become whatever it is you want to become. Man-made laws. There are laws that govern how you drive when you're on the road, when you're on the highway. You know, laws everywhere. The signs that you see, the red light, the yellow light, the green light, the stop sign, the no turn on left. I mean, the no turn on red, or the no left turn here, or one way, or yada yada. All of these are laws. The speed limits, you know, all of these things are laws. So laws literally govern everything. Okay, so there's nothing in your life that is exempt from this. So when it comes to having, this thing is crawling up my arm now. When it comes to having peace of mind, there are laws that govern that. So, I know, it's super common for people to pray for peace of mind, and yet the whole time they're violating the laws that govern peace of mind. All you gotta do is discover what the laws are that govern whatever it is you want, and then apply those laws accordingly, and you'll have what you want. And that's just the way the universe works. So, um, you will never not receive what you're pursuing because of discrimination or racism or favoritism or anything, like anything else you could name. Those are some of the most common uh, reasons that I hear people mention. If they're like denied a job promotion or a job period or an opportunity, whatever it is, those are some of the more common things that I hear as reasons why they didn't get that opportunity. But, in all actuality, it's all governed by law. So if you didn't get your desired result, then in some way you're not applying the laws properly that you need to apply to receive that desired result. So I mentioned abundance. There are laws that govern abundance. There are laws that govern success. There are laws that govern prosperity. There are laws that govern happiness and joy. There are laws that govern, like, if you flip that, right? On the flip side of all that, there are laws that govern depression. There are laws that govern anxiety. There are laws. I'm just looking for where that thing went. Whatever kind of bug that was. It was just crawling on my arm and now it's gone. But there are laws that govern um, depression. I don't know if I said that. There are laws that govern anger. There are laws that govern frustration. There are laws that govern insecurity. There are laws that govern confidence. There are laws that govern fear. There are laws that govern courage. Like literally anything you could think of, there are laws that govern. And so what happens a lot of times, and this was the case with me many years ago, um, because it's kind of, the way, okay, say like the laws that govern, prosperity, for example, or success. Um, they're different than what we would think, right? Like what makes sense to us, the actual laws are different than what makes sense to us, right? So, I mean, friendships, relationships, all these things, marriage, divorce, there's laws that govern all of it. So, I give you an example. Um, there's a law, well, a big one. It's the most uh, powerful law or rule in the game of life. And it's probably the only one you really, really need to know. There are definitely other laws, um, but this one is kind of like the alpha law, is what I'll call it. This one is like at the top of the food chain, and it's sowing and reaping. And basically, what that says is, what you give is what will be given to you. Okay, so when it comes to something, say, I don't know, like abundance, like financial abundance, you know, in our natural minds, for most of us, we think the key to financial abundance is saving, right? Saving money and investing and just hoarding all the money we get and, uh, spending only what's absolutely necessary and keeping the rest. And that's how um, man typically approaches, um, you know, pursuing financial abundance. But one of the laws to financial abundance is actually the opposite of that, which is giving, right? One of the laws to financial abundance is giving. Give money away, give to help others, or, give to charity, or, whatever it is. But it's through your giving that what you give is multiplied and then given back to you. I've said this a lot when talking about energy, and how the energies that put out into the universe is multiplied and given back to you. Well, it's the same thing. There's literally no difference. So the more you give, the more you receive. It's just like this tree behind me. You know, a seed had to be planted for that tree to grow. And then that seed had to be, cared for. The ground had to be cared for, whatever the steps are. But if, say whoever planted that tree, you know, say they wanted a tree but didn't plant anything, right? Well, you're not going to get anything because you have to plant it first. So this law right here is huge. It's huge. And it pretty much permeates every aspect of your life. And, you know, there's nothing you can talk about without talking about this law when it comes to achieving the things that you want to achieve. So let's talk about peace of mind, right? Because a lot of people don't have it from what I've seen, just from my day-to-day experiences and interactions with people. A lot of people don't have peace of mind. A lot of people are stressed out and worried and full of anxiety and depression and frustration. I just had to check my battery real quick. But yeah, so why is that? Um, I guarantee you, if you have a conversation about it, they're going to point the finger at external circumstances. They're going to say, he did this, or she did that, or, my boss did this, and, my mom did that, and my dad did this, and my son did that, and, my daughter did this, and my sister, and my brother, and, or my car is broke down, and I don't have the money, or, on and on and on the list goes. But none of these things are really to blame for anything, right? If you don't have peace of mind, for example, it's because of what you're giving your attention to. It's because of what you're focusing on. It's because of what you're entertaining. It's because of your diet, right? Now, when I say diet, I'm not referring to natural food. I'm referring to things that I would consider spiritual food, which could pretty much be summed up in one word, and that one word is words. The things you listen to primarily um, is what your diet consists of. Okay. Also, things that you watch, and whatever form these things come in. So, if you so if you're a big fan of the news, right? If you like to watch the news, you watch the news every day. Um, in my opinion, I think it would be impossible for you to have peace of mind if you watch the news, because the news is not sharing stories that would support peace of mind. The news shares stories that support things like anger and fear and worry and anxiety, right? Because they don't really talk about anything good on the news. If you you watch the news, you'll probably conclude that the whole world is just going down the drain, because all they're talking about is who got shot and who got raped and who got kidnapped and the economy sucks and all these things, stories like this. And then you get a little bit of weather, you get some commercials, and then, one good story at the end that's about 30 seconds long, right? So I haven't watched the news. From what I remember, that was that was pretty much the format. I haven't watched the news. I don't even know in how many years. But the point is, your peace of mind is directly connected to what you're listening to as well. Everything, like peace of mind, your anger. If you got like a quick temper, you know, what in your diet is supporting your quick temper. Remember, diet being the things that you're entertaining, what you're listening to, what you're hearing, you know, and what you're hearing repeatedly, what you're hearing the most, over and over and over. It's impossible for these things to not affect you. So, and a lot of people, when they're watching what they're watching, they're not thinking like this. You know, people watch what's entertaining. It's like, um, I could compare this to, like eating natural food, right? When I'd say probably most people eat natural food, they're not eating thinking about um, the nutritional value or content of the foods they're eating. They're not eating the foods they eat thinking about how these foods will benefit their bodies, or what those foods will contribute to their bodies. They're just eating what tastes good, right? And spiritually, it's the same. You know, most people just eat what tastes good, right? They eat what feels good. They eat what, and I don't know what it is about the news that people like so much. I really don't. But, I could definitely, relate to, when it comes to like movies and, TV shows and stuff like that. It's funny, it's entertaining, you know, um, but at the same time, you're programming your mind with what you're entertaining, right? There are laws at work whenever you're watching and entertaining what you're entertaining. There are, like, under the surface, there are laws at work. And like, most people, I don't think, realize that. And so there is no cheating. Universal laws, the laws that govern your world, there's no cheating them. So whatever you're entertaining is affecting you in some way. So if you're full of anxiety, always angry, quick-tempered, easily irritated or frustrated, right? If you're depressed, miserable, just unhappy with life, first thing to do would not be to blame other people. But if you want to turn that around, you have to look at your diet. And you would have to eliminate everything in your diet that is supporting those feelings, those emotions that you don't want. And then you have to change your diet and start including in your diet. There's ants crawling all over this chair. Well, it's I made that sound like a lot. There's one ant. There's one. But but yeah, so you'd have to change your diet up and start entertaining things, hearing things repeatedly that support what you want in your life, the new feelings, or the way you want to feel, or the new emotions, the new attitude you want to have, the new perspective. You have to entertain things that's going to support that. And that's pretty much all it comes down to. Any area of your life that you're unhappy with, take a look at your diet. right? It's like if you're overweight and you're unhappy with being overweight and you want to drop some pounds. You have to look at your natural diet, your food, look at the food you're eating, and you have to figure out, okay, what foods am I eating that's causing me to gain weight? And then you have to eliminate them and you replace them with foods that will cause you to drop weight. Same thing it is with our lives, you know, on a personal level, our personal desires, the things that we're trying to achieve in life. It's like when you go to school to begin a new career, you go to college, right? First thing they do is change your diet. And they develop a curriculum that's going to feed you the things that you need to ingest, things that support whatever career path you have chosen, right? Okay, so I gotta cut this short even though it's 26 minutes long, but my battery is about to die. I'm at 5%. I hope you enjoyed this video. Talk to me. Leave me some comments, like, subscribe, share, show me some love. This is Kev, your life coach, and I'm out.